Everybody, welcome to a Quickie with Miss B. Today is
Ta-da! Tuesday.
this week we're talking about, that's a fail.
Yeah.
If you missed any of the episodes,
It's just me embarrassing myself.
Yeah.
It's just
that's Monday's episode. If you missed it, go back and check it out. And as always, thanks for joining us. Yeah.
You were trying to think of a name. Thanks you for joining. What do you want to give them all one name? Thanks, Bob.
Thanks to all the Bobs and Bobettes.
Yeah. And those crazy people who spell their name backwards. You know, Bob.
So today's Tuesday and our topic is going to be when you're trying to act all grown up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's the teenager years there.
Oh, yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
For boys, it's you're trying to be all being cool and grown up and all that, and then you find this girl who's just ragingly hot, and she acts like she's a 4-year-old. You become young again very quickly. It's really hard when you go, wow, what's she into? Oh, she's doing friendship bracelets. Okay. Have you read Truman Capote's latest book? No, friendship bracelet. Okay. You know what? I love friendship bracelets. I love them. Yeah. Who's Truman Capote? Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to be grown up.
Uh-huh.
I remember my. I got to be very careful. I'll call it a friend. Okay, who was trying to be real grown up once and watched a show. Now get this. She watches a show about this exact thing, and the girl fails. The girl fails, and everybody makes fun of her. So she sees the lesson. It was on Little House on the Prairie. And she actually does exactly, and it all happens just like the episode. But she thought there'd be a different outcome for her. Laura, the young girl, the Laura girl, there was two.
Laura Ingalls?
There was two young girls. One was, I think, Carrie, and one was Laura. It's the middle girl, yeah. Laura. Her sister, Mary, the older one, had begun to flourish. And she had it. There was an episode where she asked, when do I get bumps? She called them bumps. I don't have bumps. When do I get bumps? I want bumps. Mom's got bumps. You're getting bumps. When do I get bumps? And she had seen this episode, and apparently the girl Laura just dropped 2 apples in there, and they fell out in the middle of class. After everybody was Google-eyeing her bumps. You know, everyone's looking at her going, whoa, what in the world? Yesterday, no bumps. Today, bumps. Wow, that's, wow. She grew up real quick, and then all of a sudden, apples fell out, you know, and everyone, points at it, and she runs all the way home, you know, and had to do her little lesson. After watching that episode, my friend did that. It's like, what in the world? But hers was even worse. She got a bra and put oranges in it. But then wore a low cut. So let's just say she had discolored cleavage. Yeah. That was a special little.
I remember years back when we were in school, and you know, some girls were getting the bumps and other ones weren't. And this particular girl, she wasn't getting the bumps, and she felt left out. So she decided to give herself some bumps. And she came to school the next day, and it was kind of a warm day, so she had not a t-shirt, a blouse on, but it was very almost, it was kind of lightly, you could see through it, but not
completely,
really see through.
Right.
Yeah. So she had that on, and she had on her cute little nice white bra that, you know, went with their top. And as the day went on and it got warm in there, you could see these bumps kind of shrinking. And things started to change color.
Oh, no. What'd she do?
She used pink tissue. Too. And so now it's very apparent that your bumps are pink, sweetie. And nobody wanted to approach her to say, maybe you might want to like take a visit to the bathroom and try to correct this problem somewhat.
Have you been in the special room and gazed in the shiny square? It's over there. You should actually go take a peek and see if there's any issues in your life. I think you might be surprised. Well, yeah, but apparently it's a real thing. It happens. Apparently, girls go through this. But then there's also the other. I mean, some girls get it really. I mean, some girls have a hard time. They have a hard time trying to deal with that kind of stuff. Overdo it, trying to be a bit adult, and wind up with a fail. The orange one was just, to me, it was like, that was just a head slapper. You're like, oh. You do know that your mother never worries about your shirts fitting a certain way because you haven't blossomed yet. So she doesn't really worry that much. So that shirt's a little, let's just say, if you had blossomed, it'd be a bit low. But you haven't, so she doesn't worry about it. But apparently last night you did. So now you're a little on the low. She's just used to it always looking right.
Yeah.
But now, you could have literally just walked up to her and pulled one out and went, "You mind if I eat this?" Figured you weren't using it,
And on that note, we need to take a break. Snacks, anyone? Welcome back, everybody. You're well.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to a quickie with Miss B.
Yeah.
Taste Tuesday.
Yeah.
All day and half the night. Ta-da.
Ta-da! Tuesday.
Oh, this week we're talking about That's a Fail. Today we're talking about I am all grown up. Those goofy things you do as a kid, but, you're all grown up.
The first half is about the bumps. And the sad moment in young ladies' lives.
Well, I remember growing up at my Nona's when we'd go home there for the summer or a holiday. This time it was Easter. And, you always had the little kids' table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you had the adult table. Well, I thought after a certain age of 12, I should, kick it with the adults. I don't need to be with the little peoples anymore. So I asked my mom, I'm like, can I sit at the big table with the adults? And she's like, no, you're not going to enjoy it. And I wouldn't let this go. I really wanted to sit at the big people table. I didn't want to sit with the little kids anymore. So finally, she gave in. She let me sit at the big people table. I'm thinking, this is cool. I'm around all the adults. I get to listen to the conversation. I'm it. Yeah. Miss Hot Stuff here's at the big table. The conversation was so boring at the adult table. I just about fell asleep.
You talk about politics. You're like, who's Nixon? What? Huh? And you want to ask questions, but you don't even know how to formulate a question about that because you're like, so there is water at the gates. What? And he's a Nixon, and why is there water at the gate? Oh my, pass the corn. I don't know. They're talking about watering gates. I don't know. This stuff's craziness.
It just got so boring and confusing listening to him that I almost fell asleep. So I decided the best thing to do is pick up my plate and just go back to the little people table.
Yeah, you learned.
Yep.
I had one. You'll love this one. My father's truck made a very particular... Kids who had parents that had trucks will know what I'm talking about. But my dad's truck, the tires, they sing a certain way. There's like a... They make a certain sound. And you can hear it coming down the road. And you know that's your dad's truck. Okay?
Yeah.
So we always paid attention to that. But I was going to be a big shot. There was a girl down the street. She lived we weren't in a subdivision, but there was a subdivision probably the distance of maybe 5 or 6 blocks down the road.
Yeah.
And it had the big brick gate and all that. And I thought, you know what? I've been wanting her to pay attention, you know? I've been wanting her to, spark up a conversation or two and maybe come on over and let me, hold her hand or something like that, you know? We were young people. Get your minds out of the gutter. But I might get a peck on the cheek or something like that. But she was pretty. She was a pretty girl. And my father had an old beat up Land Rover, but I knew the name Land Rover was it was good. Something special there, Land Rover.
Yeah.
So I got in it, and I loaded up the kids. I started up, and I backed that bad boy out. And I thought I was pretty cool, you know what I mean? I started heading down the road towards her place. I've got to go 6 blocks. Okay? Took about 8 minutes. Because I'm just like, trying as slow as I can, trying to make sure everything stays exactly perfect. I don't hear the humming. I put the blinker on because I know you're supposed to use the blinker. I'm going to turn into I'm going to go into her subdivision there. We've been on the road for a while now, and I was traveling 6 blocks. Should have been there in about 30 seconds because there was no traffic. And I've got the blinker on, and there's a vehicle coming, so I know I got to be really, really careful. And the vehicle goes right by me, and then I start to hear these noises, and I'm like not thinking because I got to pull out and go in to the thing. So I'm going in there. I might be doing like, I don't know. I'm keeping it nice and slow, probably like 5 miles an hour. I'm almost, you could probably push the car. And I'm going down her road, and I see her out there playing, and I slow down, and I kind of leaning on the door. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? She comes running up. It's your car? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, just taking the kids for a ride, I'm 9. taking the kids for a ride, I should have a driver's license in, I don't know, 7 years. Maybe 9 years. It's like, so this is yours, huh? I went, yeah. Oh, it's mine, but he's managed to take it. And I'm wondering why my brother said that. And he's just looking at me like he's got this mouth wide open and this look of like, I don't know, he just saw Satan. He's glad. I look in the rearview mirror. The kids are all going. They're glazed over, and then I look in the rearview mirror again, and I actually wonder why my father's truck is behind me. Then it comes to me. Oh, the car that was getting ready to drive. I was sitting there staring at my dad with the blinker on, not paying attention. He drove right by. That noise I heard was him hitting the brakes and spinning that thing around, and now I'm tooling his Land Rover down the street in the subdivision. He's driving right behind me. I'm doing 5, and he's just like tooling behind me. I'm so cool. Yeah, just taking the kids for a ride. I'm 9. Yeah, yeah, that was a bad night. Yeah, that was a yeah, yeah. That that didn't go well.
No. And on that note, we gotta go.